Abba-dabby dude! Hi there, this is Abba-dabby dude! Welcome back! And just a little extra vlog for you today, just a little short one. But just received notification of my second software over-the-air update. If you've seen my earlier video, I got one of the very early ones. Apparently I was in the experimental bunch or whatever, the experimental group. But they're slowly rolling it out across the whole iPace fleet now. And, it was quite a while ago, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got a notification that there was an update available to my car. And it would be coming soon. That was via email. Loads of people got that. It's been all over the forums. But that was it. Never saw anything else again. Well, I just got in the car this morning, and this is on the screen. Now, I already know it's a very small update, but I'm going to install it anyway. It doesn't really do very much, apparently, but let's go. We're already on a version of S19A anyway, just a slightly earlier version. I'm not aware of anything in particular this fixes. Few people reported that it's more responsive than the version they had before, but I'm not sure how many of them were on the 18s. I found when I downloaded the last update, or the only update I've had before this, it updated the S19A 07.2- and then a slightly smaller number than 312706. Can't remember the number off the top of my head. And I found that to be more responsive than the 18C that I updated from. So I don't know if people that are saying this is more responsive, if they're maybe updating from that kind of version. It will be interesting to see if I find it more responsive than the 19A I was using. I don't believe it addresses any of the other stuff that's been an issue up till now. So things like creep mode, I think it still forgets if you've switched creep mode on, it's set to off the next time you start the car. So I don't think that's fixed, and I think the reversing camera still is a little bit what's the word, jittery or laggy, or maybe a little bit of both, I'm not sure. But yeah, there we go, it's installing a new update. So it would be really nice if it gave you a little progress bar, you know, sort of Windows style progress bar or Mac style progress bar, you know, when it's installing, giving you a little progress line. It doesn't seem to do that, which is a little bit annoying. I believe you can actually drive the car while it's installing an infotainment update. I know you can't use the car when it's doing a battery, what do they call it, BEMS, battery energy module system, something like that, or a telematics update. You can't drive the car for them, but you can, I believe, still drive it when it's doing a pure infotainment update. I'm not, I'm just sat here at home in the garage. I was about to go to the shops when the message came up. I will go once it's updated. I just can't be bothered with the whole driving the car while nothing, you know, while it's doing stuff thing. If it's gonna get bricked, I'd rather it get bricked in my garage, frankly, than several miles from home. So yeah, it's just a shame you don't get that progress bar, so you've never really got an idea of how long you're going to be waiting for. But as I say, theoretically, you could drive the car. I just think once you get to where you're going, I don't think you can switch the car off and get out, lock it and walk away. So, and that's why the progress bar would be particularly handy. But anyway, it's updating. We'll come back to it once it's installed and just have a very quick look and see if there's anything to see on it. Okay, so it's downloaded, and as you can see, it now says new software version ready. Installation will complete on vehicle shutdown. So you have to switch the car off now, which I will do. And there you go, vehicle shut down. So I've switched the car off as instructed. Just going to wait a couple of minutes now to let it get deep cycled. I opened the door, closed it. Sorry, I've just locked it as well now. Just to go through the whole cycle of shutting all the systems down. And I will wait for the dashboard to go off. The dashboard, as you can see, still illuminated, still showing my state of charge in grey because it's not plugged in. If I was plugged into the charger, that would be green. If it was on time charging, it would be blue. But it's not plugged in because I'm literally just about to go somewhere. So I will wait for that to switch off. That means the car's fully powered down. And then I will start the car up again. Okay, the car has now completely powered down. So I will press the brake, press the start button, kick it back into life, and let's see what we've got. Okay, dashboard is on. The heads-up display is on, but obviously the system itself, the infotainment, must be rebooting because it's just blank at the moment. Yes, it does. Maybe finish writing some data to the hard drive or something. Who knows? Ah, here we go. There we go. Yep, just had to finish writing a load of data to the hard drive. So there you go. We got the screen back. I'm wondering if it's going to have lost my smart profile. Now, it hasn't lost it, but it's not auto logging into it, so I will do that. Right, there we go. There's my EV page. Ooh, now interestingly, let me just show you something. The map on the instrument cluster now looks like that. It was permanently in a sort of dark mode before, but now that's much prettier actually. That is much nicer. Oh, sorry, a bit wobbly there. So I like that. That's cool. Let's just have a look at how responsive that is now. Looks pretty responsive. This one is always the laggiest one of the lot. Oh, that's much snappier actually. That is way better. Still a delay, but that delay is the animation, I think, rather than the system being particularly laggy. But if I now go into the settings software update page, there we go. I was about to say it hasn't done it. It has. It just takes a second to tell you. So telematics, I'm still on 14.2, and if I check for an update on that, yep, it still does the same thing where it just cycles forever. Never actually tells you there's no update, but there is no update. It just keeps doing that until, well, until forever, basically. Now I think I'm right in saying that I'm going to have to log back into things like the weather. So this live thing, you have to log back into that, I guess. So there you go, little update. Don't think it changes very much. As I get time to have a look at the car and use it, I'll see if there's any changes, but in all honesty, it's only a very small incremental change anyway. The interesting thing is that sat-nav map. That's pretty cool. Wasn't expecting that to be any different, but as I say, it is, and it's pretty nice actually. It is much nicer than the old one. It's much clearer, easier to see. I guess at night it will switch into that dark mode, but it was permanently in that dark mode before. now much more visible like it, and I suspect that that will look really nice on the full screen view. And in fact, if I can, oops, let's quickly go to display layout, full map. Okay. And yep, let me just, I'll flip it around and I'll show you what that looks like. I'll move the car first though, because I don't really want to be giving my home address away. So I'll move the car and then I'll show you the screen. Okay, there's a shot, slightly wobbly. But if you could see the camera mount I'm using, you wouldn't be at all surprised by that. But there's a shot of what the new full screen dashboard map looks like. Obviously we are moving at the moment, so that gives you an idea of what it's like when you're moving. I don't know if it's me, but that actually seems smoother than it used to be. But I have to say, I don't use this display ever. I've only ever used it a couple of times just to see it. I've never actually really used it whilst driving very much, other than, as I say, those early days, a couple of quick tests to find the one that I liked. But that does seem to be scrolling much smoother. I'm loving that daytime view. That looks absolutely lovely now. Much nicer than the dark colours that were there before. If you look at my first infotainment overview, in fact my first car overview video, I'll stick a link up the top now, you can see in there what that used to look like. Bear in mind that video was shot in daytime, so that was the daylight colours that you saw in that video. Very different to how it is now. So let's have a look at the sat nav then, because that's where the change seems to be that I can see anyway, the most noticeable one anyway. And actually I've got it in satellite mode. I always run my sat nav on satellite mode because I think it looks really nice. If I just zoom out there, you can see, oh, look how responsive that is now. Oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, look at how responsive that is compared to how it used to be. That is really, really good, actually. Really good. So yeah, there you go. Now, as I say, I run it in sat-nav mode. So, you know, satellite map mode, which gives you a view like that. But if I switch it to the, for example, the 3D view, you see it looks like that. Now, I don't actually know, because I always run it in satellite, so I don't know if that's any different. But I can tell you that the dashboard, the one in the instrument cluster, is definitely different. That used to always appear in, on my screen, what looked like night mode. Now, I don't know if that's maybe because I've got the main screen in dark mode. You know, I've got dark mode set as my preference, and that may have something to do with that. So I think maybe they fixed that. Maybe it was a bit of a bug that if you set your whole display, because I much prefer it, because I just think a big white screen in amongst all the black surround just looks awful, and it also suffers more from reflections. Dark mode is so much easier to read in bright sunlight, but likes of the sorry, if I go down the AC screen, excuse the dust, the AC screen down there, you know, I think that looks much nicer dark mode than it does in light mode. So I always have it in dark mode. So I don't know if that was a bug that the system was putting it into dark mode on the maps, because I had set dark mode for the screen. I really don't know, but they fixed that anyway. I presume it will go into some kind of night mode automatically after dark, you know, when your headlamps come on. But at the moment it's stuck in daylight mode. So and it is much nicer. I'm so impressed with that. So let's see, what else can I show you. If I go back, as I say, I have it on satellite. Now I also have route remaining in the display. How can I get that back? I don't care where I am. That's the nearest charger. I don't want that. Okay, I've lost the side panel now. But tell you what, let's do that. Ah, there we go. Yes, so now the other thing, if you see when it's in normal mode, sorry, that took me a while to find there. You can see the screen on the left, the panel on the left. I've got that permanently set now, so that shows the remaining route. And the reason I do that is because when you have that, you get this permanent display, which is your current state of charge. And on road trips, that's brilliant, because all you get is the bar. You know, you don't get an exact number on your dashboard. So that is a way of getting your exact state of charge. It also goes yellow at 20, and I think it goes red at 10, but I can't swear to that. But it goes yellow at 20 where it's green at the moment. So I find that really useful. But that now also is in daylight colours, where it was in dark colours before, and it looks much nicer now, much nicer. And likewise, if I go in and stop guidance, again, that's my range remaining map, you know, so that's showing you how far you can cover on your current battery charge. That's also much prettier looking. It's a much nicer color scheme, and that might be how it looks for everybody who has their screen on light mode. I don't know, but now they've fixed it so that the map is always in day mode during daylight, and I assume it goes to night mode when it's dark. You know, once it turns night time and your headlamps come on, I assume the map turns into night mode. But it looks absolutely beautiful. Just let me show you this again, the dashboard. I just think that looks amazing. I could actually see me using that on a road trip now, where I never did before. I like that. I really like that. Right, well, now I've been for a bit of a drive with it as well. And I have to say, it's nice. I mean, it's very tiny updates, but the map display is lovely. I would love to know, though, if that's just for people that have been running in dark mode. In other words, you know, have you been running in light mode up till now with previous versions of the infotainment? If so, have you always seen the map on the instrument cluster like that? Because on mine, I always run the screen and everything in dark mode because I think it looks much nicer. It blends in, everything blends in nicer with the black surrounds. Particularly, as I said, particularly the air conditioning / media panel, the small lower touchscreen, is particularly much nicer in dark mode than light mode. It's easier to read. It's also less prone to suffering from reflections as well in bright sunlight. So I've always run it in dark mode. So I've got no idea if this was just a bug relating to that, or if everybody has always seen the map the way I was seeing it. But now it is so much nicer in those bright daylight colours. It's lovely. The instrument, I might use that a lot more than I was before. One other thing that I've noticed is that the heads-up display, the next turn indication in the heads-up display, seems to be coming up much earlier. I know that was something that Gary complained about in his iPace owner channel, that the heads-up display comes up with directions later than you would want it to sometimes, and later than the voice instruction comes up. But on the short drive I've just done, I noticed that it's coming up pretty much at the same time as the first voice instruction saying at the next roundabout take the third exit or whatever. The heads up display seems to be pretty much coming up at that point, whereas before it was coming up much later than that. Now, I don't know if that was just a fluke relating to that one journey I've just done, or if it's you know, if it's an improvement. I think it's an improvement though, and if that's the case, then good on them for that, because it did sometimes come up just a little bit too late to be comfortable. Other than that, yeah, it's, I say, it does seem to be more responsive. I don't know if that's just like Windows. When you update your Windows, suddenly your computer seems more responsive, and then as time goes on, it gets bogged down with old data and stuff and starts to slow down again. So I've no idea if that's how these car systems work, but at the moment, it does seem, you know, just snappier, more responsive. But yeah, if you've been running in light mode, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've been running in light mode, how has the map on the instrument cluster appeared to you? Has it been in nighttime colours or bright colours like I've just shown you on mine now? Because that's new to me, and I just want to know if that was a bug relating to dark mode or if it's something that they've changed for everybody. Really, that's kind of it. You know, if I come across any major changes, I'll do another video on it, but I don't think I will. I think that's pretty much all she wrote, so to speak. But I like it. It's nice. A very small update, but what they've done is nice, and I might find myself now on road trips using that dashboard, the full map display, which I've never done before because I never found it that visually appealing. So there you go, small improvement to the HUD. I've tried CarPlay and it's not been updated to accommodate iOS 13, so you still don't get next turn directions or maps in the instrument display or the heads up display from CarPlay. And CarPlay does now support that, but it's not been implemented yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be a future update via an over-the-air update which will include that. But yeah, I have to say, nice, and it's just nice to see them starting to roll it out and bring more of these over-the-air updates. Nice to see. So yeah, anything you've got to say, please let me know about that light dark mode instrument display. But have you updated? Have you found anything that I've missed? I mean, I've literally updated it today and driven a few miles with it and back. So, you know, I'm not going to have seen everything. So anything that you've spotted in addition to the couple of changes that I've seen, leave a comment down below. I'll try and respond to any and all comments except the usual spam and or abuse. And if you've enjoyed the video, then do click on the thumbs up. Big help for the channel, that. If you do want to subscribe, don't forget to click the little bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video, and you won't miss anything going forwards. You can subscribe right now by clicking on my ugly little face over there, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos like this one up here. Until next time, this is Abby Dude saying so long, take care, see you soon. Bye. Abby Dude.